To Midday Live here from the News Hub at Adisawe, Kanda this afternoon. I'm Natalie Fort. A look at our top stories. Leading member of Ghana First Patriotic Campaign, Kwesi Pratt Jr. vows to resist implementation of US-Ghana Defense Cooperation deal. NDC stalwart Dr. Ekospio Gabra jabs government, saying it's only good in formulating slogans and poor in delivering on promises. And on the foreign front this afternoon, Pope Francis admits grave errors in a letter to bishops. We've got the details of these stories for you here on Midday Live. You can watch us all across the world on 3news.com and TV3 Ghana on Facebook. We're also live on DSTV channel 279. Let's get into our very first story this afternoon. A leading member of Ghana First Patriotic Campaign, Kwesi Pratt, has vowed to resist the implementation of the Ghana-USA Security Cooperation Agreement. He was speaking at a forum held at the University of Ghana, Legon.
The President's address was disappointing, to say the least. It failed to address the issues that we have raised, and indeed, as you sat through this public forum, you realize that we still have lots of issues that must be attended to. So for us, we are not giving up on the fight. The struggle continues until the specific issues that we have raised are addressed.
So when paragraph 4 of the preamble to this agreement reveals that President Trump called our president and they had a dialogue to initiate the negotiations for this agreement, that is where we expected President Akufo-Addo to show this kind of robustness and toughness and macho. We want our president to be an international champion, not a local champion. We are not interested in local titles, only fights at Bukum. We want our president to also take it to the international level, to Madison Square Arena, to win us international titles, to be an international champion. Let us see the robustness and the muscle, the macho-ness bring us something in negotiations. Not on us, innocent, defenseless, miserable citizens.
I've heard people say that, let's review the agreement. Let's change some clauses. No matter clauses, the number of clauses we change in this agreement, it will remain a very bad agreement. This agreement cannot be changed and cannot be improved. It is a bad agreement and we ought to reject it. Unless some people say, but the agreement has been signed already, so what? The bond of 1844 was signed and yet we fought against it and got freedom from colonialism. We will do it again. As far as I'm concerned, this is the second battle of the Ghanaian people against colonialism and foreign domination. The battle has started.
We have all behaved the same. We don't tell the truth. We don't have moral courage to speak our mind. That is our biggest problem in this country. If we had done that, if we are coming to the agreement now, but if people with the president tell him, Mr. President, with all due respect, I don't believe that we are doing the right thing, he wouldn't have done it. But many of us, from our experience, I've been in the army for a long time, we fear to speak the truth because of our, if you speak the truth and you lost your Land Cruiser, so you keep quiet to keep your Land Cruiser. And we should continue to depend on outside powers to train our armed forces. We are people with sufficient training and experience to manage our own affairs, and I'm one of them.
And in a related development, leading member of the NDC and Ghana's former ambassador to the United States, Dr. Ekospio Gabra, has rubbished Ghana's military cooperation agreement with the United States, describing it as nothing short of a bad deal. The former ambassador to the United States told TV3 even a first-year law student would have negotiated a better deal for Ghana than what the Akufo-Addo government did. He spoke on New Day.
First year, second year, third year law students are given this agreement and asked to improve it from Ghana's point of view. And I'm sure many of them will know what to introduce to improve it. It defies, well, most people's imagination. Why a very distinguished lawyer in Ghana, who happens to be a president, cannot see one single clause or paragraph in it that he can improve? And why the document should go to Parliament, where there are at least 20 or more lawyers, and of course, 200 other equally brilliant people from different professional backgrounds, and be told that they cannot change one word. This is the problem. Ask whether the agreement had a single word added to it, a single comma added to it. So what is Parliament for? Okay. Is Parliament a rubber stamp? Are we converting our distinguished parliamentarians, who we spend a lot of electoral commission money on, and they also spend their own money campaigning all over the place, to be selected from their different political parties to represent us in Parliament? We convert them into a rubber stamp. So we take their brain power from their heads and put it outside and say, well, they're just robots. Stamp it and let the document go through. Doctor, it was a very unfortunate situation in our Parliament.
I really want us to touch on this before we round up on this entire conversation. This whole controversy led to Mr. Kokwanyidho passing certain comments that led to his arrest by the police, CID and all that. Many have called on top officials of the NDC to condemn his comments. Of course, it's still under some form of investigation. Would you agree with those who say Kokwanyidho certainly went overboard?
I can only say that I don't think there's anybody in Ghana who looks forward to, expects, or will promote a coup d'etat. That I don't think so, because coup d'etats were, if you like, ended. The coup to end all coups was the 31st December 1981 coup or revolution that President Rawlings led. And I think in the military itself, most military officers know that the wages of a coup is death.
You went overboard?
Well, those are your words.
I've
described what I think about coup d'etats in Ghana.
I want a yes or no answer. Were those comments acceptable?
I've given you an answer.
Were those comments acceptable?
I've given you an answer.
Were those comments acceptable?
I've given you an answer.
Were those comments acceptable?
Acceptable to who?
To the entire country.
I'm saying that I don't think anybody in Ghana will promote or expects a coup d'etat. Now, the circumstances under which he said it, as you said, have been investigated. So let's wait and see why
you seem to be avoiding the direct response.
I've given you a very good answer, which everybody listening to me can interpret.
Now, the former Trades and Industry Minister, Dr. Ekos Gabra, has further questioned the commitment of the Akufo-Addo-led administration in fulfilling its one district, one factory promise. Dr. Gabra said the MPP is good at coming up with catchy slogans, adding the government has so far failed in executing one of its flagship campaign promises of building a factory in each district.
We are waiting for the one district, one factory. We are waiting for the one village, one dam. So 1 year has passed. And unless somebody tells me otherwise, nobody can name one dam. And I don't know how big a dam they want to build and how expensive it is. But if you're going to build a dam in 2,000-3,000 villages in the northern region in 4 years, you'd expect that you have built one or you've built three. And we can announce today on TV3 that, oh, if you go to Bunkrugu or you go to Wale Wale or you go to Sandema, you will get
the Vice
one
President
dam
has
there.
indicated that the
These
official commission of that project was somewhere in June.
So let's pray for the sum of the dams to be built. One district, one factory. Again, that's a lot of factories to build. And so if in your first year you have not been able to build one was, I think, was a cutting of a sword or some commissioning of something. But if you've seen a product coming out of that factory, that this is pineapple juice made in a Kumfi, branded so-and-so name, I haven't seen one. I'm a pineapple farmer. So I'll be happy to see a pineapple factory in the central region, but it takes time. And I just asked a very, very prominent businesswoman today, do you know the business model for this one district, one factory? And the person said, look, I've been to the one district, one factory office, asked them for the policy framework that they are going to use, asked them for the financial plan for a model factory, what percentage of the money will come from government, what percentage will come from the private sector, what technology should be used, what kind of business plan is to be established, what kind of marketing and distribution networks the factory should. And the person says there is nothing there.
I get your point, but for a government that has a 4-year mandate, yes, at least for its first term, are you not being overly pessimistic about what will happen?
With their flagship,
what will happen in the next 3.5 years? For example, with the
they can do a lot if they
one
want.
Village, one dam, one district, one factory. as I mentioned, Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has indicated that the
pronouncements
will happen.
Pronouncements. They are very good at pronouncements. I said the one district, one factory was a very nice slogan. Sloganeering, fantastic, MPP.
But recently we've heard from the information minister, Mr. Fiogabra, Dr. Fiogabra.
Yeah, they will not even build them.
Yeah. Exactly. You heard, were you surprised?
I was not surprised because we've been telling them that promises are very easy to make. One belt, one road is the Chinese program and philosophy from which I believe then people went and heard and borrowed their one this, one that concept. So one district, one factory, great idea. In fact, some Sierra Leonean politicians were even using it.
So it can be done. It can be done as former trade minister.
All kinds of things can be done, depending on how you plan your budget.
Meanwhile, President Akufo-Addo says his vision is to develop an optimistic, self-confident and prosperous nation through the creative exploitation of human and natural resources. The president, who launched the Coordinated Program of Economic and Social Development Policies 2017 to 2024, said government is on course to establishing a strong economy to enhance growth.
Themed An Agenda for Jobs, Creating Prosperity and Equal Opportunity for All, the Coordinated Program of Economic and Social Development Policies spans 2017 to 2024. When fully implemented, the policies are expected to reduce unemployment and provide job opportunities for the youth. The policies cover economic development, social development, environment, infrastructure and human settlement, government corruption and public accountability, and strengthening Ghana's role in international affairs.
The programs and the activities that would derive from the vision, however, requires the cultivation of a new planning culture, which captures not only the views of stakeholders, but also recognizes their roles and creates space for the active participation and ownership of the plans by the private sector.
Minority Leader Haruna Idrisu urged government to ensure opportunities are not shared along party lines. Majority Leader Oseche Mensah Bonsu said development efforts should be well coordinated to promote effective, sustainable social and economic development. President Akufo-Addo said his government is on course to restore hope and operate an open and fair society in which mutual trust and economic opportunities exist for all.
This vision demands innovative pursuits to create opportunities for Ghanaians to apply their skills, talents, and knowledge to productive ventures. It is, however, obvious that the jobs created cannot be sustained in a situation where the country is dependent on imports of foods, on imports of the basic necessities of life.
The President called for a concerted effort for the effective implementation of the policies.
I'm calling on public servants, private sector operators, organized labor, actors in the informal sector, members of the media, institutions for research and learning, civil society actors, religious figures, traditional authorities, and friends of Ghana to join hands in ensuring that this national clarion call resonates so that we usher in a new era to create jobs for our people, to set off on a new epoch of Ghana beyond aid, and to generate prosperity and equal opportunity for all.
President Akufo-Addo thus becomes the first president under the Fourth Republic to see to an effective coordination of a national policy within a record time.
Now we're going to stay on this issue a little longer as I'm joined in studio by Asa Mohammed. He's a lecturer of development planning at the University of Development Studies. Welcome to Midday Live. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much, my sister.
Now, Asa, it seems like the president has just come out with a 7-year plan, economic and social plan. It seems as though when there's this new administration, we have a new plan of a sort, a development plan. We know of the 40-year development plan and now the 7-year development plan, economic and social development plan. In your view, are these achievable?
Thank you very much. I think I must say I'm happy and sad at the same time because of the so long staying on the drawing board. We have I mean, more or less taking planning as just an event, but not as a process. And that has been the reason why every government comes and he wants an event. And the event is just to come out and say, I have a 7-year plan, and I have a 40-year plan, Vision 2020, Ghana Shared Growth and Development Agenda 1, 2, Poverty Reduction and Development Strategy 1 and 2. Those are the events. But the processes involved in planning is what makes planning work.
And you're happy about this?
And I'm happy, that's what I'm saying. I'm happy that, yes, we've had something to guide ourselves, but the most important, and I'm sad because we have not been able to implement our plans. And I'm so uncomfortable with the current arrangement because I'm not sure how we are able to achieve the results that we have set as our targets.
Now, you say you're happy and you're sad at the same time. And like I was highlighting earlier, new administration, it seems like there's a new development plan.
Yeah.
In your view, would some form of a national plan that these political parties buy into work better? Because if the 40-year development plan is put out, and it's not followed through by a new administration, and now we have a new plan, how are we so sure that it will be carried on if there's a change in administration?
Looking at where we've come from in terms of our planning, I'll consider them not as national development plans, but as party agendas.
Would you say national development plans would be better?
Yes, we need a national development plan, and that's what I'm saying is the process. The process involved in designing a national development plan is different from what we do as we have been doing for the past, since independence. We have not been able to get the people to really imbibe into the culture of planning. And I always say that, look, you need to understand that planning or development is a science and an art. And you can always jump to getting the science of it, like the event kind of thing. But the processes, that is what I consider as the art, that involve in the mental, conditioning of even people who are going to be implementing those plans.
And how long would it take to mentally condition these people? Because the president has put out 7 years for this economic and social development plan, hoping that at the end it would create jobs and boost the economy. Is it possible within a 7-year period, if even changing the mental frame of the people is part of this period, is part of this process?
We need the bottom-up approach to planning. And that is where you'll be able to get people acceptance to what you finally come out with a national plan. And at that point, you get people buy-in to accepting and appreciating that the country has an agenda. And that is where all the political parties' manifestos will be drawing from. You go to the United States of America, they have always had an agenda when it comes to security or maybe dominance in the world. And any party, whether Democrats or Republicans, will come and then they are only coming to tell us how they are going to action it. And the people will look at it and decide. But in our case, we have nothing called a national development plan. Any party that comes, whatever they consider as party agenda, and sometimes I'm so worried about even the processes of getting political parties manifestos. It has been so porous. And at the end of the day, this become the agenda of the state. Now, from day one, everybody agree that this is NDC, NPP. So at the district level or even at the micro level, people are not so in tune with what they have to work with. And I will always tell this with certain experiences. You look at the district assembly concept that we brought. That is the beginning of the development planning process that this country accepted and adopted in 1980s. If we cannot boast of any serious implementation of our district level plans, when we should forget of any national plan, because every national plan is kind of the umbrella of all the decentralized plans.
So with that being said, looking at what this 7-year plan has come out to put and making jobs creation the focus in line with agriculture, boosting the economy through agriculture, do you see us as actually making any achievements in this regard with this 7-year plan that the president has come out with?
Yes, for sure. If you look at the content of it, and as we listen to the president, it is promising. It is something that is in line with all what development planners and development experts have been talking about. And it's also in line with even our Vision 2020, all the plans that we've had. I can say that there's nothing so different in terms of the content. There's no so different. Taking agriculture as the backbone of the economy has been the song we have been singing all year round.
And are you glad that it's 7 years as opposed to, say, a period of 40? Do you think it'll be more achievable?
Now, 7 years, we can achieve some level. And as I said, we cannot achieve this until we are able to bring it down to the macro level. If you talk of agriculture, at the regional district level, what are the districts doing to promote this planting for food and jobs? That is where we need to put more emphasis on. And at least, if we are able to get at district level, contribute to the national level, then we have our 7-year plan achievable. But otherwise, we will just always be coming to see the talk, and at the end of the day, it will become like 7-year plan,
on
7 years,
paper, not actually
and nothing
actualized.
has happened.
Asa Mohammed, grateful for your time this afternoon. Lecturer of Development Planning at the University of Development Studies. You're still live here. You're watching Midday News. We've got some more coming up for you shortly. Stay with
Oh, you were late yesterday, and today too you are late. What is wrong with you?
Kat, my wife is standing outside there. She needs money.
Everybody does so titimremu. Enti wonya daji enye wajuma. Se madafo no mebusuafo nye sika ye bibia. Me UNB speed up na di bua me no. Dwumadi bi te say contact symbol so. It is our UNB account. Now when me contact so dia, me timi ma no sika wo baby bia me mre ho kra. Na say wo beti oboso awo na den. Na me de me a. Se si adie, min chinchin se me ye bibia biemo. Me tumi bi salon, me nyansi ho wo me UNB mobile savings wallet ni so. Me tumi to insurance, to credit egu me phone so. Me sa so de tua me bills bia. Me tumi iska wo UNB ATM bia so me nkra card bia. Wo betumi ahyehyɛ wo mre ene nkita wo die. E wo UNB speed up kwan pana so. UNB speed up. Digi Bank. Let's go.
Everything you need to know. Captivating. Reliable. Credible and breaking news. All at your fingertips.
Who's found Asamoah Gyan? Super finish!
Being on top of the news has never been easy. Visit us at www.3news.com for all your reliable news. 3 News, news at your fingertips. There are lots of amazing stories out there. What we do on News 360 is to bring to you the most compelling news by teasing out the right pieces that bring the stories to life. My job is to present to you the news in the most gripping manner and asking the critical questions that bring out the needed detail out of the stories. My name is Alfred Okanse. Join me on News 360, Monday through to Friday, 7 p.m. on air and online only on TV3.
Business News segment is brought to you by
Welcome back to Midday Live. Let's carry on with our stories this afternoon from the world of business. The Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, Yofi Grant, has embarked on an investment tour to woo strategic investment opportunities into the country as part of plans to reposition Ghana as an investment hub and promote the country as a premier investment destination in West Africa. He is joined on the tour by a Ghanaian delegation comprising 30 representatives from the Free Zones Board, the Ministry of Agriculture, Minerals Commission, the Ghana Tourism Authority, and various Ghanaian institutions and companies from the economic and investment sector. The team, which is presently in Dubai, is meeting with the United Arab Emirates Investment Council, the United Arab Emirates Ministry of Economy, General Electric, Jimirai Group, among others. They will also be stopping in London for the 5th Africa Financial Services Investment Conference. We'll be following up on that and bring you more on it subsequently. But in some other business news, inflation of 10.4% was recorded in March, down by 0.2% from the 10.6% recorded in February. The decline was attributed to decline in price of non-food items.
Acting government statistician Ba Wadie explained the 0.2% fall in the inflation rate could be attributed to a decline in the price of non-food items, especially locally produced foodstuff.
That the drop in the CPI was due mainly to a decline in the inflation rates for most of the non-food items. We had declines in the inflation rate for transport, decline in the inflation rate for housing, water, electricity, gas, and other fuels, decline in the inflation for most of the non-food items, and this accounted for the drop in the overall inflation rates.
Food and non-alcoholic beverages group recorded a year-on-year inflation rate of 7.3%, with some of the main prices being on fish and seafood, vegetables, oil and fats, meat and meat products. Non-food group recorded a year-on-year inflation rate of 11.8%, with main drivers coming from items such as transport, recreation and culture, clothing and footwear. In March 2018, imported goods recorded an inflation rate of 11.8%, which were 2.0% point higher than locally produced goods of 9.8%. This is attributed to cost of shipping, import duties and other charges, as well as profit margins. The 2% decrease in consumer inflation suggests prices of consumer goods and services were fairly stable in March this year. Upper East recorded the lowest year-on-year inflation of 8.0%. Upper West recorded the highest inflation rate of 11.9% in March.
By and large, the effects of transport, clothing and footwear and miscellaneous goods are influencing what we are observing in Upper West region. This drift effect is also a factor in these figures that we are observing.
The Consumer Price Index, or Consumer Inflation Rate, measures the change over time in the general price level of goods and services that households acquired for the purpose of consumption in reference to a base year price level in 2012.
The Ghana Revenue Authority has commenced the implementation of a 5-year tax exemption for entrepreneurs aged 35 and below. This forms part of initiatives to provide an enabling environment for young entrepreneurs to thrive.
As part of measures to stimulate investment and boost entrepreneurial development, the 2018 budget statement outlined tax incentives for young entrepreneurs aged 35 and below. At a tax and good governance seminar for students of some tertiary institutions, a lecturer at the GRA training school explained beneficiaries will be selected based on a number of factors.
When you are located in Accra and Tema, the rate is 20%. When you are located in the regional capitals, the rate is 15%. And when you are operating in the 3 northern regional capitals, the rate is 5%.
Lawson Hodgson indicated that all processes will be channeled through the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Plan. He added beneficiaries of the incentives will not only be allowed to carry forward losses for 5 years, but also preferential tax rates will be granted based on which region their business is located. Some students were excited about the prospects of developing the entrepreneurial skill.
It's a good idea because it encourages more entrepreneurs in respect to the young ones.
Oh yeah, it will actually encourage me to go into a business because I believe one thing that companies normally does in terms of these taxes is they don't declare their profit because they believe maybe when they do that, everything will go into taxation, then it's not help them to actually expand their businesses. So if I have that opportunity being exempted from tax, I think it's going to encourage me to actually go into business.
And that's how we round up the business news here on Midday Live this afternoon. We've got more business stories on our website. It's 3news.com. You're watching Midday Live from the News Hub here at Adesawe Kando. We've got some more stories coming up for you shortly. Stay with us. Welcome back to Midday Live. And some more news this afternoon. TV3 Network is in possession of a petition signed by a Concerned Citizens Association of the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, to the President, calling for the dismissal of a former acting chief executive officer of the Environmental Protection Authority, Peter Ebum-Sarkodie. The Concerned Citizens allege the former acting CEO misapplied state funds to a tune of $81,000 and have called for an investigation by YOCO and the special prosecutor. Mr. Sarkodie was relieved of his position by the President on the advice of the governing board of the EPA, which had not been formed when he was appointed. Ebum-Sarkodie was appointed acting EPA boss in 2017. He previously served as Member of Parliament for the Mampong constituency from 2005 to 2009 and a member of the Parliamentary Select Committee for Science and Environment. In some other news, members of the Koforidua Technical University chapter of the Technical University Teachers Association of Ghana are protesting over delays in their promotion. Now, they're also aggrieved about what they describe as continuous direct interference with the day-to-day administration of the university. Now, on the phone lines to speak with me on this issue is Nana Jesse, who's the local secretary for TUTAG Koforidua Technical University. Hello, Nana Jesse. Are you on the line and can you hear me clearly? Hello, Nana Jesse. Thanks for agreeing to speak with us. I hope you can hear me clearly.
I can really hear you.
Great. Now, first of all, to clarify, what exactly are the concerns being raised?
Well, we have two major concerns for which reason we have demonstrated today. The first one has to do with our promotions, which have been in limbo since 2016, and we've not seen end in sight. And so we decided to petition our governing council. We petitioned the council some time ago, and they formed the promotion and appointment committee, and they were given a specific date to meet. That is 28th February. But after 28th February, the committee did not meet, and we were not communicated to. And we realized that the council is unduly delaying our promotion.
So this was 28th February of 2016 that you were promised a response. Is that so?
No, I'm talking about the date that the committee was supposed to meet to consider our promotion. That is 28th February 2018. That's just about 2 months ago.
Okay, now, what exactly are you hoping? What measures are you hoping should be taken at this stage, given that it's been since 2016, 2 years since they've responded?
Yes, you see, because we petitioned at first and we had the committee formed, we believe that this second petition will compel the committee to meet and consider our documents that return from assessment. You know, as part of the promotion, we submit our published papers and our documents, and it will into external assessment. And afterwards, the committee will need to consider the document, and then the promotion will be done. So we hope that going forward from today, as we speak, the council is in a meeting. We hope that the council will mandate, the council will compel the subcommittee to consider our documents. We are talking about close to 200 documents. That is about 200 people whose promotions have been delayed. So that is the point we are trying to make. And one other thing is that we have also realized our council chairman is micromanaging the university, which is contrary to Act 922, the act that established the technical university. He is involving himself in the day-to-day administration of the university.
I mean, what exactly do you mean when you say, I mean, micromanagement is one thing, but he ought to involve himself in the running of the university to a large extent. So when you say he's interfering in the day-to-day administration of the university, what exactly do you mean?
As a news reader, I know that you report to a manager or something, and if you, as part of your job, you receive a query from the board chairman, it is uncalled for. So it is, I mean, in recent times, our members have received query letters from the council chairman. You'll be there and the council chairman will call you and ask for certain documents from you. We engage in certain activities for the school. This council chairman is able to stop some of these activities. Of course, per the act, he's not the one who is clothed with that authority to do that. It is the work of the vice chancellor. And so as a council chairman, what we are saying is that he should operate within the laws and within his mandate. He should not overstep his boundary. That is the point we are trying to make.
And given that you feel like he's overstepped his boundaries to a large extent, what action are you hoping is taken against him?
Well, so this is a clear signal we have sent to the appointing authority. And we believe that the Minister of Education, for that reason, the seat of government will know about what is happening on campus. And we believe that going forward, the Minister will bring him to order so that he will conduct himself within his actual mandate. Now, lastly, Nana JC, briefly, what time frame are you looking at your concerns being addressed? Well, you see, previously, we were used to giving the council time frames, but they never respected any of those. And so, since we are in a council meeting this afternoon, as I speak, they are in a council meeting, we believe that immediately after the council meeting, our representatives on the council will bring good news from the council. If they don't, we have always been copying Labour Commission whenever we write letters to our council and our Vice Chancellor. And so the Labour Commission is fully aware of what is happening on campus. So if after today's meeting we don't hear any good news from them, then we will have an emergency meeting tomorrow, and then we will write to Labour Commission and give them the 7-day notice that we are supposed to give, and then we embark on a sit-down strike. On a sit-down strike. Nana Jesse, grateful for your time this afternoon. Local Secretary for TUTAG with the Koforidua Technical University. We'll follow up on that issue and bring you more on it subsequently. But in some other news this afternoon, Ghanaians are outraged over comments made by self-styled celebrity Moishe Budong that Ghanaian women can only survive financially if they grant men sexual favors. Here are the views of a cross-section of Ghanaians.
So some comments by Moishe Budong suggesting that Ghanaian women depend on men to survive because of Ghana's economy has sparked controversy. But today we find out from you, does her comment reflect the real situation in the country? What do you think?
I believe her words is not a reflection of what is currently happening in Ghana, because there are so many women who are entrepreneurs, and it will surprise you to know that in some homes there are some women who even act as the breadwinners of the house. So for her to make such a statement, honestly speaking, I am totally against it.
It's quite surprising that in today's world you have people like her thinking that you need a man to be able to survive, or you need a man to be able to make it. There are a lot of men out there, but how many of them are working? How many of them are rich? Think about how many of them are married. Think about how many of them are hooked up. Does it mean that whatever be the case, you should get yourself attached to somebody who can take care of you? She doesn't even know what love is.
No, I don't see reason why she was supposed to generalize it and say all women. But then I know some few ladies who are actually dating married men, and then they are so okay with that. But there's not everybody who is really okay with that. We have women who are so okay without men.
Personally, I don't agree with it. I think you should work hard, because there are others there who are also doing it. For instance, I'm not going to brag, but I work aside the office issue. I also sell fabrics. So at least at the end of the day, I can buy whatever I want to buy. And also I'll cut costs. I won't have to buy Gucci bag with Gucci shoe when I know I can't afford for it. Because in fact, when you're going for such things, then you should have more money, because such things are expensive.
Fine, that is Moishe Budong, but it doesn't mean any other lady has the same perception as she thinks, because most women of nowadays think they can do whatever we the men can do, and they are working very hard and earning it. So Moishe Budong shouldn't confuse the girls growing up, because they are thinking of making things possible on their own way. Yeah.
That's what Ghana is. People like her, she's a celebrity, people are watching her.
she's in video clips and all that. So what you say actually goes far. People listen. What are you telling the youth of today? What are you telling the ladies who are coming up, who are looking at you and thinking that you're a superstar, they want to be like you? Then they're growing up and you are building laziness in their minds, that all they can do is to make their bodies look okay, look all nice for a man. If once the man has got cash, good to go.
Is that not what you guys want?
That's not what we want. Not every guy wants like that.
I think the comment is most unfortunate because she generalized it that women, because some women I know are doing their genuine, legitimate business, going about their daily duties, and they are making ends meet. They don't depend on men or do all sorts of things she claims she does before she can rent an apartment. So I disagree totally with her comment.
Certainly some rather controversial comments made there by Moishe Budong. Well, the debate will be going on for a pretty long time, you can be sure of that. But you're still watching Midday Live. Let's turn our attention to our MTN Visual Reports this afternoon as Afote Stephen, our citizen journalist, reports from Tanoso in Kumasi Metropolis on a burnt high-tension pole.
This is a high-tension pole situated at Tanoso, right behind Yasantwa school wall in the Ashanti region, Tanoso. Now, this pole used to be two. One is lying down here. It got bent as a result of thunder strike about a month ago. This pole got bent, and we have made several appeals to the electricity people. We have called them, but they have not responded. You call them and they will tell you they are aware. I don't know whether they are waiting for the danger to strike before they will come and take action. Look at even the one standing. Look at the way it's bent. And still, the electricity people are not ready to take an action. From Tanoso, the Kumasi Metropolis, Ashanti region, there is Afote Stephen.
Afote Stevens reports there. Remember, you can also send your video reports via WhatsApp number 055-1433-044. That's 055-1433-044. On to some other news this afternoon here on Midday Live. The Tema Development Corporation is set to demolish 4 earmarked blocks of the Kaiser Flats at Tema Community 4 this month. According to Chief Engineer of the corporation, Edward Mensah Sanjok, a total of 300 occupants have been compensated, paving way for the operation.
The 4 earmarked blocks are part of the Kaiser and Surgical Flats. 48 Engineers Regiment of the Ghana Army have been contracted to undertake the operation this month. The Chief Engineer of TDC, Edward Mensah Sanjok, noted the entire area will be cordoned off to prevent incidents of accident during the operation.
Out of the 14, we have 4 of them which are in a very deplorable state, such that the deterioration is quite serious. If nothing is done about it, it can collapse all of a sudden and people's lives will be in danger.
The 3-phase exercise is expected to be completed in 3 months. The director of the Geological Survey at the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, Richmond Amuyate, explained the modalities for the operations. A team made up of officials of NADMO, Environmental Protection Agency EPA, Ghana National Fire Service will support the operation, while Glyco will provide the insurance package for the affected occupants.
You're watching Midday Live. Let's now take a look at what's making news on the international front. In a letter to bishops, Pope Francis said he made grave errors in handling a Chilean sex abuse scandal in a letter to the bishops of the Episcopal Conference of Chile. The letter comes after a March report detailing interviews with 64 people affected by the scandal. The Pope said he would like to ask forgiveness to all those he has offended, and he hopes to personally do this as well in the next few weeks in the meetings he will have with representatives of the people interviewed. The Catholic Church has been embroiled in a worldwide abuse scandal for more than a decade, with thousands of priests accused of sexually assaulting tens of thousands of children. And for more international news, visit our website, it's 3news.com. Next is some entertainment news. In entertainment news this afternoon, the 19th Vodafone Ghana Music Awards VGMA is just 2 days away. But any idea of which musicians have won the Artist of the Year category since its inception? Well, just to clear your doubt, Owusu Arai has for you the list of VGMA top winners in the last 18 editions of the awards. The prestigious Ghana Music Awards has for 18 years been celebrating outstanding Ghanaian musicians. The award has always left in its trail varied sentiments. While losers are left disappointed, it is all bliss for the big winners on any VGMA night. 2000, Daddy Lumba. Born Charles Kojo Fosu, aka Daddy Lumba, the singer won Artist of the Year at the Maiden Ghana Music Awards, held in the year 2000. Released in 1998, DL's mega hit Abinwaha did the magic for the hitmaker. Patronage of the song soared thanks to speculations that Abinwaha had then been banned by the National Commission on Culture for its explicit content. Curious to know the content? Music lovers grabbed copies of the cassette, making it an instant hit. 2001, Kojo entry. Born Julius Kojo Entry, Afro-pop highlife and reggae musician, Kojo Entry, also known as Music Maestro, succeeded Lumba, winning the 2001 awards. Celebrated for his vocal prowess, Kojo Entry still remains relevant after over 3 decades of gracing the music scenes. Other top VGMA winners include 2002, rapper Lord Kenya won the topmost honors in the year. Lord Kenya, now an evangelist, won the competition ahead of his bitterest rival, Obrafo. 2003, Conti Hene. 2004, VIP. 2005, Bice Osekufo, aka Obor. 2006, Euphoria Ponza. 2007, Samini. 2008, Kwokese. 2009, Ochame Kwame. 2010, Sarkodie.
You know what time it is. Sometimes when I sit down to reminisce about the thing we be to do, girl, give me a kiss. Now we got more things to do. This be Genesis. I be you feeling it.
2011. After 7 years, VIP came back much stronger to win the Artist of the Year for the second time in 2011. The group is now known as VVIP, with Hip Life Grandpapa Reggie Rockstone replacing rapper Promzy. 2012, rapper Sarkodie won the awards for the second time in 2012. 2013.
Them say life is sweeter than, but you for take it easy and make you know the rush and blow your meter on.
R2Bs, the Tema-based duo comprising Moogies and Payday, now Omar Sterling, released 3 back-to-back hits, Walai, Odo, and Bela Trap, to win big. 2014, Shatawale. 2015, Stoneboy. 2016, EL.
So if you wonder how I do my thing, it be my God. No money, how me here, it be my God.
2017, Joe Metal.
So lost without you, Jesus. I'm so lost without you.
2018.
Osa, Osa, oh. Osa, Osa, oh.
The battle lines have been drawn. Sarkodie, Shatawale, Stoneboy, Joe Metal, and the late dancehall diva Ebony Reigns are in the race for the 2018 VGMA Artist of the Year. Who wins the topmost category? Well, only time will tell. Well, the VGMA certainly promises to be very exciting, happening this Saturday. You can catch all the action live here on TV, as well as on all our media general platforms and on our website, 3news.com. That does it for Midday Live this afternoon from the News Hub at Adisowe Kanda. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Natalie Fort. Enjoy the rest of your day.